Hello everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. Today is the start of my Summerween vlogs. So happy day one of Summerween. I'm super excited to get started. I mentioned it when I was talking about my Summerween TBR that I'm actually going on vacation like during the whole week of Summerween. So today we are packing stuff up. We've got a ton of stuff that needs to go in the car. And we're leaving bright and early tomorrow morning. I don't actually even think that the sun will be up yet because we have to leave here before 4 a.m. So that part's not the best. But we'll be driving for about, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours, and then we're gonna kind of bop around before we go to our cabin. So every year, my husband's family does this family trip to a bunch of cabins right in the middle of two lakes, or not in the middle of two lakes, right between two lakes. And it's a super fun time, so I'm really looking forward to it. I look forward to it every year, but obviously we're leaving tomorrow and then we're not getting back until next Saturday, so it'll be for the entire duration of Summerween. So today I have a lot of like cleaning and packing and getting stuff ready for the vacation, but the first book I'm hoping to pick up is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I actually have the audiobook for this too, so I can like pop my headphones in and listen to this while I'm packing and cleaning and doing all that stuff. And I don't know, I could be super ambitious and try to finish this today so that I don't even have to pack it and finish a book already on the first day of Summerween. So I think I might try to do that because I feel like this is going to be one where I'm going to not want to put it down. I'm going to want to keep reading it. So yeah, first book of Summerween is going to be Verity. I also think that my book of the month box is supposed to get delivered today, and that has Survive the Night in it by Riley Sager. And I want to bring that with on vacation because I want to read that for Summerween because I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of my most anticipated books of this year. And I actually became like a book of the month BFF this month, which means like I got 12 boxes in a row. So I've been subscribing to book of the month for a year now, and they give you like a special tote. So I'm hoping I get that today so I can open it and see what that's all about. All right, hi everyone. It's a little bit later in the day. I know I'm in like the same position as before, but I just wanted to give a quick update about Verity. I just got to the 200 page mark. I'm on page 201. And this is kind of messed up, I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely darker than I was expecting, but it's definitely a really quick read, and it's definitely a book that makes me like want to find out what's gonna happen. So I think I'll for sure be able to finish this today. I have just over 100 pages left, and yeah, I'm just really curious about what's gonna happen, but it's pretty messed up. But also, other update, my book of the month box came, so I can open it. I already obviously know what books I'm getting, but I still figured I would open it on camera here. Oh, cool. So here's my tote. Look at that. That brand new BFF feeling. Cute. So this is the tote. Oh, that's neat. I love the blue. It's got a book pocket. It says book of the month. I think this is big enough to fit the books. And there's a pocket in the inside. Oh my god, that pocket's huge. Yee. Okay, so my actual book of the month pick for July was The People We Keep by Allison Larkin. Out of all of the choices, this one sounded the most interesting. The synopsis actually reminded me of the synopsis of Burlesque, which is a movie that I love. And so I figured I would pick it up. And I really like this cover. This is really cool. And I think this one is an early release. I don't think it comes out till August. So I'll be picking that one up at some point. But the one I'm most excited about is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Oh, it's a lot shorter than I was expecting. It's just over 300 pages. Oh, and the monthly bookmark. So yeah, I'll definitely be bringing this one with me on vacation and using this for something in Summerween, I'm sure, because how can I not pick this book up right away? So yeah, those are my current updates. We have to go bring my dog Ellie to my mom's work because she's watching Ellie while we're gone on vacation because we can't bring her with, unfortunately. So we're gonna go do that, and then I will get back to reading Verity.
Look at this guy coming. Look at.
Sue! All right, I just finished reading Verity, and I really liked this. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars. I thought this was a solid thriller. I was definitely engrossed and wanted to know what happened, so obviously read this in a single day. So starting Summerween off strong. Got 1 book done already. But yeah, I thought this was super like chilling. There were some parts where I was like actually making faces while reading and listening to the audiobook. Like, yeah, some parts were hard to like read and listen to. So there are definitely some trigger warnings on this, which I will have in my Goodreads review. So I'll leave my Goodreads link down below if you want to go check those out. But yeah, definitely a solid thriller. I really liked this one. I don't know that I would call it a romantic thriller. I would just call it a thriller. But yeah, solid start to the readathon. I'm quite happy with that. I'm not sure what I want to pick up next though. I think just for the rest of the night, I'm just going to make sure that everything is ready before we leave tomorrow, and I'm probably just gonna watch BookTube and stuff. So I don't think I'm gonna pick up another book until probably tomorrow evening. It's too early. Pit stop for breakfast. So tired. Goodbye, Wisconsin. We've arrived! All right, we are here, and I am unpacking all of my books. I think my next read is going to be Hench. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know that I'm going to get any reading done today, even a little. So, but yeah, I think the next book I want to pick up is Hench. All right, good morning, everybody. It is now day 3 of Summerween. I didn't get any reading done yesterday. I was way too tired and just kind of hanging out with family. We have our nieces with, and they're younger. One is 6, one is 10. So we were kind of watching them, obviously, at the lake. But today I have like the whole day. I'm not super tired. I might end up taking a nap later. And I've decided that I'm actually going to start Survive the Night today. I have the audiobook for that one too, and I think it'll be a pretty quick read because it's a thriller. So I'm gonna go fishing with Brandon this morning, and that should be fun. So I'll try to get some clips of us doing that. And then I'm gonna go down by the beach and sit out on my chair and read. So I'll update you a little later.
And I'm gonna bring one.
So bright out. All right, change of plans. It's too windy to go fishing, so we'll go fishing later, but now we're just gonna go sit by the beach, and I think I'm gonna read then. Hi everyone, I just wanted to quickly update that I finished Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I'm sorry if I look really sleepy. I'm so tired. I think just like the combination of not sleeping well the last 2 nights and all the sun I've been getting, I'm so tired. But I finished Survive the Night and I did really like this. I'm not a super big fan of like unreliable narrators, which this one definitely has because the main character stops taking her medications and then she has like hallucinations, which she calls like movies that happen in her head, where it takes what's happening in real life and like fancifies it into a movie version, and so she can't always really trust what she's seeing. And I'm not a fan of that because I don't like when you can't trust the narrator. One of my least favorite things is like when everything that's been happening has all been a dream or it's all been in the character's head, and I can't stand that. But there are definitely some like unreliable narrator moments in this, so if that bothers you, I don't know how you'll feel about this. I really liked it. I thought that the pacing was super good. I really liked all the twists that happened. I did not see a lot of them coming, and like I did suspect certain things, but I didn't like guess everything that happened. So I definitely was taken by surprise for this, and I liked it just as much as I liked any other Riley Sager book. So I'm gonna end up giving this a 4 stars because I don't like unreliable narrators. Since I don't like that, it did kind of annoy me a little bit. So I'm just gonna take a star because, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that, but I think this is a solid thriller, and if you like Riley Sager's books, I think that this is just as good as his other ones. I also really liked that this was set in the early 90s, and so there weren't cell phones, because there were so many times where I'm like, just text somebody, just call somebody, just do something. Like, it happened so many times where I'm like, oh, if only she had a cell phone. So it was kind of fun to like, obviously now we have cell phones, but in 1991 they didn't, so it was just something that kind of added to the story, because you're like, okay, you probably wouldn't be in this situation if you only had a cell phone. But yeah, I definitely liked this one. It was a very, very quick read. Obviously, I read it in a day, so I'm really happy with that. Book number 2 of Summerween is complete. I think now I'm just gonna go chill in the shade. I might take a nap, I don't know. And I'm not quite sure what book I want to start next. Maybe The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. Yeah, we'll have to see, but I'll update you once I pick my next book. Good morning, everyone. It is day 4 of Summerween now, and I have a few updates here. So last night I veered off my TBR and decided to pick up the audiobook for The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I will definitely not finish this book this week. I shouldn't say definitely not, but I might. But this is not a spooky book. It does not fulfill like pretty much any prompts. I guess it's orange, so it could do the Halloween book cover, Halloween colors on the book cover. But I went for a walk and I didn't have any other audiobooks, so I decided to pop that one in. But I think the next Summerween book that I'm going to pick up is The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. This is a horror novel, so it fits that prompt. And it's pretty short, but I think I'm just going to be reading this like outside while I'm sitting down by the lake. We are supposed to be getting or renting jet skis today, so I'll be wanting to ride on the jet skis today. So I don't know how much reading I'll actually get done, especially because I have to cook dinner for everybody. It's 15 people, so I'm not sure how much reading I'll be able to actually get done today. But I also wanted to say that I think I'm going to veer off my TBR for some of the other challenges, because I think I'm going to use Through the Woods by Emily Carroll as my read a book in the dark, because I can get it on Scribd and read it on my phone and just read it in the dark that way. So I think that's what I'm going to do for that one. And then also for the paranormal challenge, I think I'm going to get the ebook of Odd Spirits by S.T. Gibson, who is the author of A Dowry of Blood, and I just really want to read more of their work. And that one's a really short, like 100-page book about like a witch and a psychic and some like dark entity rises or something like that. So it's very paranormal. So I think I'm going to read that one to fulfill that prompt, but I probably won't start those till later in the week. Definitely not today, because I want to focus on The Hollow Places. All right, so I was just on the jet skis. I'm sure you could see that was my third round on the jet skis. I got to take out my niece on them. It was super fun, but now it's time to make dinner. We're doing tacos, and I'm making dirt cups for dessert, which I'm gonna make now, and that's gonna count as my treat for Summerween. That's spooky. That's gonna count for the prompt of like bake or make a drink or whatever. I mean, I have been making like coffee, and I'll definitely be making like an alcoholic drink later tonight, but I'm gonna use dirt cups as my Summerween treat that I'm making, just because why not? So yeah, let's get to it. Hey everyone, good morning. It is Summerween day 5. I feel like I keep losing track of the days, but I just wanted to say that I did my dinner last night and it was amazing. It was such a hit. It's kind of stressful trying to cook for 15 people, but it was actually really fun. It turned out really, really good. Tacos were amazing, and the dirt cups that I used for my Summerween challenge were an absolute hit. So that was awesome. And then last night I decided to pick up Through the Woods by Emily Carroll, which I use for my read in the dark. I sat in a dark room and just read off my phone. So some of the clips for that might be pretty dark because I didn't have any other light other than what was coming off my phone. But yeah, I really liked the artwork for that. I thought it was really good. I liked all of the different stories. I didn't think that they were like that spooky. Like, they were kind of creepy, but they weren't like gonna give me nightmares or anything. But I did really like it, and the artwork made it amazing because there was no like white space. It was all like colored in, and I don't know, it was like dark, and I think I showed some of the artwork, which was really cool. So I really loved that, and I think I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars just because you couldn't get a whole story out of it. But I did like the short stories. It just wasn't anything amazing, I guess. And then yesterday I did get about 65 pages into the Hollow Places. It's a rainy day today, so I think I'm going to try to get a little bit further in this today. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about it quite yet. I haven't gotten super far in to develop any thoughts on it or anything. It's kind of weird, and I'm not sure what to expect yet. So I have heard that this has a slow start, so hopefully the story picks up a bit and gets pretty spooky. But yeah, like I said, it's a rainy day today, so we'll be spending some time inside. So hopefully I'll be able to get some reading done. I might play some games with the family. But yeah, I did complete a few challenges yesterday, which was nice. So hopefully I can get a few more done. I don't know. I think I just have the paranormal and the horror book prompts left to complete. So hopefully I can get those done before the end of the week. I just finished reading The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher, and I really liked this. I don't read a lot of horror, so this was kind of stepping outside of my comfort zone, and I ended up really liking it. I think I would describe this as a mix between A Quiet Place and the Wayward Children series by Shauna McGuire. So I don't think I said what this is about, but basically this woman goes through like a hole in the wall of her uncle's like oddities museum, and it takes her to this like strange place where there's these like doorways to different worlds and stuff. And while they're in that like in between space, there's things that are hunting them and they can't find their way back to their doorway, like back to our world. And so they kind of get trapped in this like really spooky, eerie place. And yeah, the things that are like hunting them kind of, they can't like see you and you can't see them, but they can hear you thinking, and the more that you think about them, the easier it is for them to find you. So it was kind of spooky, but in a good way. Like, I'm not a super big fan of like scary stuff. Like, sometimes I like to be scared, but not too much. And I feel like this was a good balance of that, because it was like eerie and chilling, but it wasn't like, it's not going to give me nightmares or anything tonight. But it definitely had like a freak factor to it, because there were some parts where I was like getting anxious for the characters. So yeah, I ended up really liking this. I think I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars, and it definitely makes me want to pick up more horror books. So if you have any recommendations, if you've read this, anything like this, I'd be curious to try it out. So yeah, that is the read a horror book prompt filled. So now I think the only prompt I have left is to read a paranormal book, which this could count as, because it does have some like paranormal elements to it. But I think I'm still going to pick up Odd Spirits by S.T. Gibson, because that has like all different kinds of paranormal stuff going on, and it's just a really short ebook. But I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to pick that up. It's a little bit later in the day, and it's just pretty much rained all day, but I'm not sure what the plan is with the family for today, so I'll have to figure out what that is, and then I'll have to make my game plan from there. So we've decided that the cousins and everyone are going to walk into town to the bar there. It's about a 1.5 mile walk, and do some pull tabs and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing now.
Yep. So this one was actually close. I only need one more of those shiny things to get the tour.
All right, hello everyone. Happy day 6 of Summerween. I finished Odd Spirits by S.T. Gibson this morning, and I gotta be honest, I wasn't a big fan of it. Like, it was all right. I really liked the magic and the rituals and stuff in it. I'm using it for my paranormal prompt because basically it follows this married couple who are magical, and they kind of have a difference in opinion when it comes to magic. Like, one of them does more natural stuff and the other one does more like spirit-based stuff, and this negative presence like kind of haunts their house, and they're trying to figure out like how to get rid of it. Everything they've tried isn't working, and so they're trying to figure out like why it's here and how to get rid of this like negative presence. And it's less than 100 pages. I think it was around 85 or something like that. Yeah, I pretty much only liked the magic part of it. I don't know if I'm a super big fan of really short novellas like that, because I can't connect to the characters very well. But I also just wasn't a fan of like the moral of the story. It was really kind of in your face at the end there. And it didn't have the same kind of like poetic lyrical writing that A Dowry of Blood had, so I think I was missing that. When I picked up an S.T. Gibson book, I just assumed that they would have the same kind of writing, and that was not the case. So yeah, I think I'm going to end up giving that one a 3 out of 5 stars, and I'm officially done with all of the Summerween challenges. I did the treat, I did a horror book, a book with black or orange on the cover, a book with paranormal in it. Was there another one? I think that was all of them. I might be forgetting a challenge, but I know that I completed all of them. So, but yeah, I'm not really sure what book I want to pick up next. I'm gonna go head down to the beach now, and I think I'm gonna bring Corrupt with me because I might start this. But I might also continue listening to the audiobook of The Great Alone. I'm still not sure yet what I'm really in the mood for now. So I might just like scroll through Goodreads and look at reviews and stuff. I don't know, do something to kind of put me in the mood for something. Or I might just pop my headphones in and watch some booktube videos because I'm very behind on a lot of booktube videos that I want to watch. So hello everyone, happy day 7 of Summerween. It is officially the last day of Summerween. I just wanted to quickly pop in because I know I haven't been really like doing multiple updates in a day, but we played some sand volleyball last night, so I was pretty busy doing that last night, so I didn't get very much reading done. But I did pick up Corrupt this morning, or this afternoon, and I am exactly 100 pages in to this book. And I am really liking it. I think it's very interesting, and I like Penelope Douglas's writing. It's, of course, another hate to love romance, so they're still in that very much hate phase. And I feel like Penelope Douglas pushes the hate a little farther than maybe what I would like, but I still always end up liking it. I thought the same about Trist 6 Venom, where it was like, oh, the bullying and the hate part really gets intense, and that's kind of where it's at right now. So I guess we'll see where it goes, because I'm usually very susceptible to feeling what the author wants me to feel. So yeah, I just wanted to update that. I'm sure that I will get a little bit more reading done today. Alright, hi everyone. It is the end of Summerween. It's actually a couple days after Summerween has already ended. I just got back from vacation and started doing laundry and unpacking stuff that I didn't use and all that. But I figured I would come on quick and do a little wrap up. So just to recap, the first book that I read was Verity by Colleen Hoover. I used this to complete the challenge of reading a book with black or orange on the cover, because this is a black cover. Yeah, I read this on the first day of Summerween. I finished the whole thing in one day. I thought this was a really good thriller. I thought it was really messed up. I know Colleen Hoover mostly writes romances and like contemporary books, but this is one of her thrillers. I think there's one other, Layla, by her, that's also a thriller, but I really liked this one. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars, and I completed the challenge of black on the cover. The next book that I picked up was Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This was one of my most anticipated releases of the year, so of course I had to pick it up as soon as I got it. It didn't fulfill any challenges for me. It could have. This has orange and black on the cover, so it could have fulfilled those challenges, but I already filled that challenge, so I didn't need to double up on that or anything. But I am really glad that I picked this up for Summerween because it's like got those spooky thriller vibes. And I think that I have the unpopular opinion with this one because I liked this book. So far, like everybody that I've seen that's read this has not liked it. And I liked it. I thought it was like watching a movie, but I totally understand the complaints that people have. My friend Ashley from Ashley's Little Library, she read this and I think she gave it 1 star. She like messaged me about it and was like, I kind of hated it. And I was like, that's fair. Because there is some things that are like, just facepalm and you're just like, who would do that in real life? And the answer is probably no one, which is why I liked it, because it just to me felt like one of those horror movies where you're watching and you're like, why would you do that? That's so stupid. So it kept me reading because I'm like, who would do this in real life? Like nobody. So now I gotta see what happens and how it ends. My bookmark was still in there. But I didn't see some of the twists coming. One of them I saw, like I figured that was what was gonna happen, but I didn't know how it would play out. But some of them I didn't see coming, and I just thought that this was like a quick, fun read, and I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. The next book I picked up was The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher. I added this to my TBR because it was Chloe's from Books with Chloe's Patreon book club pick. All my bookmarks from vacation are still left in here. And it fits the challenges because this is a horror book. It's, I think, technically a fantasy horror book, but I don't really read a lot of horror, and I really loved this book. Like, it's the kind of horror that I can get behind because I like to be scared, but not like too scared to sleep or have nightmares or something like that. This book was the kind of book that like as you're reading it, you're like, your heart's beating and you're like, oh my god, okay, I'm getting kind of nervous for these characters, but as soon as you put it down, it's not like it's gonna freak you out and you're like looking around like, what the hell? So that's what I liked about this book. I also thought the concept was very interesting of like finding different worlds, and then the kind of quiet place aspect where you can't see the monsters and they can't see you, but they can hear you think. And so it's like kind of an unknown threat, but you know that there's a threat, like there's something there that wants to kill you, but the more you think about it killing you, the more that it'll, like the quicker it'll find you. I thought that was super cool and definitely added to like the anxiety of it. I gave this one 4 stars, and it completes the challenge of reading a horror book. I also made dirt cups, which you will have seen, to complete the challenge of baking or making a drink with your spooky reads. So I'll have put clips of me making that in here. So I completed that challenge, and then I veered a bit off of my TBR to complete the last 2 challenges. So I read Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. I read it on my phone in the dark, so I didn't need like a flashlight or anything, but I could see it, but all the lights were off and everything. And that was just like a quick, fun graphic novel, like short story collection, and the artwork was amazing. I loved the artwork, and some of the stories were really cool, like really spooky. So I gave that one 4 stars and completed the challenge of reading a book in the dark. And then the last one, a paranormal book, I picked up Odd Spirits by S.T. Gibson. That's the author of A Dowry of Blood, which I loved, especially because of the writing in that book. So I was kind of expecting the same kind of poetic, lyrical writing, and I don't feel like I got that. This one was about like magical people, like witches, trying to fight this like dark energy that's like kind of taking over their home. So it has the paranormal aspect to it, and it was just a novella. It was less than 100 pages, so it was a really quick read, but it was just okay for me. I didn't really connect to the characters. I didn't really care very much about what was happening, and like by the time you figure out what's going on and like why this dark spirit or whatever is haunting them, I was like, okay, got it, let's wrap it up. We don't need to drag this out for 20 more pages. So I ended up giving this one 3 out of 5 stars because I did like the like magical aspect to it and the rituals and stuff that they were doing, but pretty much everything else I just thought was boring. So that fulfilled the paranormal book challenge. So I completed all the challenges at this point, and I still had 1 day left, I think. And I ended up picking up Corrupt by Penelope Douglas, which was on my TBR. I just was going to use it for one of the challenges, but they were already completed. But I still really wanted to read this, and since I had 1 day left and I was still on vacation, obviously I was going to pick it up. I didn't finish this during Summerween, but I did finish this while I was on vacation. I finished it Friday after Summerween had already ended. But if you follow me on Goodreads, you'll have seen my review for this, and I find this one really hard to rate and review because there were some things that I really loved about this book and some things that I absolutely hated about this book. There were times where I was like cringing, like, oh my god, how am I going to read this? Like, I don't know that I like this. I don't like this. But then there were parts that I was like, okay, I'm here for it. I love this. You can check out my Goodreads review if you're more interested in a little bit more in-depth. I don't spoil anything in that, but yeah, I was a little conflicted. Overall, I found this to be enjoyable and entertaining, although problematic. So I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars because I found it to be very entertaining, and that's what I rate books off of. It's my enjoyment of them. And I found it to be enjoyable and entertaining, although, like I said, problematic. So there are plenty of trigger warnings in this book, so make sure you look those up before you pick this up. But yeah, this didn't complete any challenges. It could go for the book with black on the cover, but I had already completed that. Yeah, that's that book. So yeah, these are the books that I completed for Summerween, plus the 2 that I read on my iPad or on my phone. So I'm quite happy with that. I think Summerween went pretty well this time around. I was a little nervous to like vlog in front of my family. So a lot of the clips are of me just like hiding out in my room. Yeah, I love this readathon, and I will definitely be participating in any readathons in the future like this if they do Winterween again. I know they were talking about doing like a weekend one where it's just Weekendween, so that would be really fun. But yeah, I'll definitely be participating again, and I'm glad that I was able to complete all the challenges. If you also participated, let me know down below what books you picked up for this one and which one was your favorite. I think my favorite might be the Hollow Places because I really liked it, and I didn't think I would. I was surprised by that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, you can let me know by liking and subscribing down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!